Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 26th. We're going to do what I'm calling a 3-3-3 reading, basically. And so what it's going to be is just a 3-row reading, and we're going to clarify it 2 times. I realize that's not a 3, but there's 3 rows. So I don't know. I hope that makes sense. And there's going to be 3 yes or no question cards at the end. So there you go, 3-3-3-3, something like that. I don't know. I'm sure someone will count exactly how many 3s are in this reading. But let's see here, Taurus. What is going on for you? You start off in this first row with this old man card. It says dealings or relationships with an older man. And you also have this feather card. It says someone you know is undependable or insincere. I just think a lot of this stuff is being brought to light. Mercury retrograde in Libra. I mean, are you kidding? Could be one of those things where we're revisiting the balance of situations, and that's Chris's crappy astrology for you. So that's like an oversimplification of Mercury retrograde in Libra. But I don't know. Sometimes simple is right? So I feel for some of you, it doesn't even have to be an older man. It could just be a person in your life, and I feel that you could be kind of just revisiting the balance, or kind of like how things are balancing out. You even have the Justice card in your reading. So, like I said, rebalancing. You have the Chariot, the 5 of Cups, and the Hangman. So I do feel that there is a victory coming in for you here with the Chariot. And it looks to me like the victory is you letting go of a round-and-round situation. Just right here, Taurus, you go Chariot, 3 of Swords, 9 of Swords. To me, everyone is doing this right now. It literally came up in every single September reading I did, the monthly readings. So it makes sense to me that people could just be looking at situations where there is no balance, where you're not receiving something. Could be anything, by the way. Could be love. Maybe you're being breadcrumbed, or you're not receiving what you want. Could be business. Maybe you're not getting paid your worth or your value. The other thing is that I always tell people, it's like, you don't have to leave a job, right? It's like, sometimes I think we just do too much work and we're not being appreciated for it, which is fine. But maybe your job description is very simple. So you could just be saying, I'm just not going to over deliver. I'm just going to do what I'm asked to do, and that's it, right? So there just seems to be some sort of rebalancing going on in your life here. I do feel like you had certain expectations, which is funny how this is popping into my head for you here, Taurus, where maybe you had some expectations like, if I do extra work at work, I'm going to get a raise or a promotion. And I don't think that that's not true, by the way. I do feel you could be saying, I'm not going to put in any extra work at work, but I am going to find a way to get a promotion. It's almost like there's this change in perspective, Hangman next, that's going on in your life. Same thing with relationships and other things as well. What's really weird is this Chariot card, right? It's like she's got those reins around the snail's eyes. It is popping into my head that I feel that maybe you have been trying to get a person or a situation, like I said, take it how it resonates. Coming in hot and heavy here, by the way, Taurus, this message, but it's almost like you've been trying to get a person to see things your way. And I just feel maybe they just haven't come around yet, or the situation hasn't come around yet with the Hangman. The Hangman, I'm getting more like back to the drawing board energy for you, Taurus, where you're saying, okay, I'm just going to see how I can rework this situation instead of trying to force someone to see things my way, or a job or a business to see things my way. I'm going to make the changes to to figure out how to do this. Very weird reading. I like this because I feel like you are the one that's taking more control. Again, Chariot is a card of hard control. Chariot says you are taking control of a situation. The Strength card is a card of soft control in the tarot, and this really tells me that you're taking control. Next, you have this Clouds card. It says temporary problems in this August card. Last time I got this August card, people kept saying August, August, August. Yes, August. It says it right here. So if you're one of those people who doesn't pay attention, there you go. August on the card itself, right? I'm not misspeaking here, Taurus. I want to clarify this because it's Mercury retrograde. So there you go. August on the card. And what I would say here is I feel like you could be, number one, dealing with a person who is born in August. So if you're dealing with an older man, or a person in your life, this person who is not seeing things your way, could have been born in August. Definitely popping into my head. For others, I feel like you've been dealing with a problem since August. This is telling me that it's a temporary problem. There's actually 3 things that are telling me it's a temporary problem. This card, you also have the 3 of Swords, which in the tarot is meant to represent something temporary. It's normally raining on the 3 of Swords. It doesn't rain forever, so it represents something temporary. 9 of Swords is also a temporary problem. So I feel whatever you've been dealing with since August that is on the card, that is going away. You have the Nine of Pentacles, the Three of Swords, and the Justice card. Again, like I said, I feel like you've been dealing with some sort of temporary issue or problem, maybe for about 2 months or so. It could be health related. Again, I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice. Could be any problem, period. And I would say that you're just kind of healing from this problem, is what I would say. So I like to see that. You even have the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like the color blue is very important to you, or will be. Something with the color blue is popping into my head. I'm noticing all the blue here. Blue bird, blue hangman, blue on the last card as well. So it's popping into my head, something blue. But it could be a car that you're trying to purchase, or something you're trying to purchase, right, with this Nine of Pentacles. So I feel if you're like looking to purchase something blue, you could be making that purchase. You could have been feeling blue as well. And the Nine of Pentacles would represent a change to your environment. So if you've been feeling sad, if you've been feeling depressed, Three of Swords, Nine of Swords, I would say that changing up your environment is probably what you need with the Nine of Pentacles. Again, with the Justice card, I kind of feel there's a change. I feel this whole entire first part of the reading is pretty simple. It's like you're changing your approach to getting someone or a situation to see things the way that you do. And that's really all I see here. It's kind of funny also that I was talking about the eyes right here, and on this Nine of Swords, she's covered in eyes, and I'll show you that in a minute. But there's something about seeing things, or how you're being seen, or the perspective of something. I don't know. We're going to look into it. Next, in this last row here, Taurus, you have this table card. It says hard work is ahead. You also have this wreath card. It says sorrow over a loss. That Three of Swords could be the loss of a situation that you have experienced, and that could be bringing sadness, or that could be the thing that has caused you to feel sadness. But I really feel there's something much better coming in for you, and this could be in love. So for those of you that have had a love loss, this could definitely be kind of a change coming in for you. But kind of like everyone else, I feel like you have to see it. Not only do we have Mercury retrograde, but we have Mars going retrograde. You know, there isn't, and also Neptune and Pisces. Don't even get me started on Neptune and Pisces, because to me, that's just confusion all the way around, right? And what I would say is you have the Two of Swords, Six of Swords, and the Nine of Swords. Two of Swords, normally she has a new island behind her. It's like she's so focused on what's in front of her that she's not seeing that there's a new opportunity, or there's a new environment, Nine of Pentacles, where she could move to. Maybe not literally. This could be like mentally. She could be moving things around in her house to make her feel better. It could be anything, but she needs to kind of see it. Normally she is blindfolded on a traditional Two of Swords. She also has a swords over her heart, so she's like trying to protect her heart from something that might not even exist. There are no other people on a traditional Two of Swords. So she might be protecting herself from something that doesn't even exist. So I feel for some of you, this is about not necessarily compromise, but kind of like going somewhere you've never been before. You have this Six of Swords here, and Six of Swords is definitely a rite of passage. Six of Swords represents going through something to kind of get to the other side. And I don't know why that's not focusing there, Taurus, but let's try that again. There you go. So I feel like you are moving on to calmer shores. Definitely improvements coming in for you. And again, like I said with the Nine of Swords, she has these eyes all over her. And, you know, again, there's something about eyeballs or eyes in this reading for you, Taurus. You have the eyes on the Chariot, like I was saying, and the eyes here. For some of you, I feel like you need to care less about, like, what people think. You know, if you're worried that people are going to criticize you or whatever decisions you're making, I feel this is kind of asking you to take your power back. It wouldn't surprise me if, as we clarify through, we get cards like the Emperor, the King of Wands, something like that, because, you know, I really see this as a reading of you needing to kind of like take your power back, like I said, or not care so much what people think of you, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. Let's see. With the Chariot, you have the Five of Wands. Yeah, conflict and competition. I don't know. With the Chariot there, though, it would say that you are winning. You are finding success, or you will be the winner, because, again, the Chariot is a card of victory. Five of Wands could be you thinking that there's going to be some sort of challenge, or thinking that you're going to have to go through something when maybe you're not. So definitely a good time to get out of your head. But I would also say go on the adventure, as I always say, with the Five of Wands. It is a card of conflict and competition, but, you know, those people are using sticks to fight. They're not using swords. So it's really a card of training or learning. With the Five of Cups, why do I feel like we didn't talk about the Five of Cups for some reason? I don't know. But Five of Cups, You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a wish or wish fulfillment. I do remember saying something about disappointments, like things not going your way with that Five of Cups in some sort of situation. Nine of Cups is like fulfillment. For some of you, I kind of get this feeling that maybe you're choosing your own fulfillment or you're choosing to find your own fulfillment. Like, sometimes in life I feel we just can't get people to see things our way. So for some of you, it's like maybe this is a relationship where you tried to get the person to see that life can be great, and they just weren't willing to be open to it. So you have chosen your own happiness for the time being. As far as a job or a business is concerned, I do get major back to the drawing board type energy here, in the sense that, again, I feel you're not trying to necessarily change the perspective of like a boss if you're trying to get a raise or a promotion. I feel like you're saying, the way that I've been doing isn't working, so I'm just going to try something else. And I feel like it's going to lead to fulfillment. But here you go. With the Hangman, you have the Nine of Wands, which is like if one thing doesn't work, you're trying something else. Nine of Wands, I always say, is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's like a card of experimentation. So you could be in experimentation mode, or you could be looking for like new ways to get your point across. And that's really just how I see this reading. Again, there's no reason to overcomplicate it. I feel it's just saying that you could be trying to get your point across in like work or business specifically. If it's love, I don't really feel like you're trying to get your point across as much as you're saying, I'm just going to focus on my own fulfillment. And then if someone comes along, then they come along, right? With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Four of Pentacles. Definitely a lot of boredom here. Two of Swords, Four of Pentacles. Things being the same for too long with both of those cards and needing to experience a change. So again, if you're feeling stuck or stagnant, it could just be because the energy is too similar and you need to mix it up. You need to do something different. For some of you, I feel like back in the August timeframe, maybe you were thinking about, doing something new or making some changes in your life, and for whatever reason, they got put on the back burner. I feel that you could be kind of revisiting some of those ideas from, again, the August timeframe and making some, kind of seeing how you can execute on those ideas. Three of Swords, you have the Knight of Wands. Every single reading I've done has been about adventure. We really need people to be bold and brave at this time. I did, a podcast with Leo King where we were talking about this. I talk about this all the time, where I really feel the universe wants us to go to uncharted territory. And, again, people always say you're repeating yourself. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to keep repeating myself. It's like the best thing you could possibly do. It's like the one thing that could, I don't want to say it's going to guarantee success, but, for the most part, if there are things that you want in your life, going to uncharted territories, kind of doing things that you've never done before is going to lead to success. And the Knight of Wands is the builder. He has to put the work in to make these things happen, so it doesn't just happen overnight. It's not like magic, but he's willing to put the work in. The other thing I would say is if there are things that you've tried multiple times, right, where you've never been able to break through a barrier, the Knight of Wands says like, okay, and the Nine of Wands here says like, okay, now it's time to break through the barrier. Let's say you've had a business and you always like get to a certain point and then it just stops working or whatever. This like really says, okay, like now's the time, now it's like, one of those moments where you're gonna have to like throw a Hail Mary, right? I feel it's like one of those moments where you have to make the decision to give something one last push, and I feel if you do that, you're gonna be very successful. I kind of feel like all eyes on you here. With the Justice, here you go, Empress, all eyes on you. But again, it's gonna be through some, down to the buzzer type of moment here, Taurus, where you're kind of like giving something one last shot, and I really feel like you need to go for it here with the Empress. I feel, of course, that there could be abundance coming in for you and everything with the Empress. I really don't feel like that's what she's talking about for you, Taurus. I feel she's more referring to, like, confidence, the confidence you will gain when you pull something off at the last minute. I don't really feel it's the last minute either. I don't want to make this more dramatic than it actually is, but I kind of feel that maybe for some of you, you're kind of like, okay, I'm going to give this business one last shot and that's it. Or I'm going to give love one last shot and that's it. Is it really it? I would say probably not, even if the next thing doesn't work out. But, I kind of feel that motivation could be the thing that makes you successful. With the Two of Swords, you have the Ten of Swords. See, the Two of Swords has to end, is what the Ten of Swords is saying to me. The Ten of Swords is something that's dead, done, over with. And again, the Two of Swords, she's sitting where she has always been. On a traditional Two of Swords, she's sitting, it's like a hard marble bench that she's sitting on. It's meant to look hard. It's meant to, like, her ass hurts. She's been sitting there for forever. And so I feel for some of you, it's almost like the pain has reached a point where you have to move. You have to make a move as well. It kind of reminds me of a story from Les Brown where he says, There's a story he tells about a dog laying on a nail, basically, and that some dog whining all day and a neighbor comes over and says, "Why is your dog always whining?" And the guy says, "Because he's laying on a nail." And the other guy says, "Why hasn't he moved?" And he says, "Because it's not painful enough yet." I feel like that nail has been hurting for long enough, whatever it is for you here, Taurus. With the Six of Swords, you have the Hermit. Two cards of a rite of passage, Six of Swords going across choppy waters, Hermit climbing to the top of the mountain. They both kind of represent going through some sort of rite of passage. It's almost like you've earned whatever you're getting at this time. With the Nine of Swords, you have the King of Cups. It's like the first time I feel love in your reading. So if you're looking for love, could be a water sign coming in for you. Could also be something that helps end this Nine of Swords cycle. I kind of feel that your environment, if I were you, I wouldn't be rushing into a relationship here if you've gotten out of one recently, or in August if you got out of a relationship or something. I do feel this could be a person that comes in, but I would be careful of using love as a band-aid, basically. Like if you're in pain and you're looking and you went through a breakup and you rush right into a relationship, it's like, do you really process the breakup in the first place? Maybe not. You're going to have to be honest with yourself, right? Some of us, I feel, can move on quickly. Others can't. And that King of Cups, I feel like, is saying, take your time, no rush with a person that could be coming in for you here, Taurus. But I don't know, this is looking good. We're going to clarify now with the Oracle of the Radiant Sun to make it the final three here, Taurus. But let's see. With the Chariot and the Five of Wands, you have this Rebellion card. There's like a couple of cards in this deck. There's the Rebellion card, a Rebel card. There's another one that I can't remember where it's basically about rebelling. And all three, speaking of 333, have shown up in the readings this week. And I feel, like I said, basically doing something different, rebelling against your beliefs or what you experience and doing something new. I really feel there's a lot of power in doing that in life. That is Mars and Aquarius as well, and pretty much every single person that I've read for so far has had a lot of the Aquarius cards in this deck, the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. And I don't know, just interesting. We're entering into Age of Aquarius. I keep talking about how I feel everyone needs to be their own little star, basically doing their own thing, innovating their life, and if you do that, you're going to be successful. With the Five of Cups and the Nine of Cups, you have this Discovery card. All of these cards of adventure, there are like 900 cards in this deck, and, this card came up for a couple people as well. So, this is a card of discovery, going on an adventure. I feel that adventuring is going to be the thing that leads to success for basically everyone. You have the Knight of Cups here as well. So I'd be looking into new things. Again, I feel if you're wondering for those of you that have repeated a cycle here, if you're wondering, should I go back to this? I would say no. Whatever it is, could be a relationship, could be a business. I feel like if you've been disappointed, maybe, with that Nine of Wands, what I would say is if you try something in a different way, I feel like you'll be fine. But I feel like if you keep trying the same way, then you're just going to keep repeating a cycle. With the Hangman and the Nine of Wands, you have this Flattery card here. Definitely a lot of attention coming in for you. I kind of feel that you could also be seeing a lot of people kind of doing the same thing you want to do. You know how they say that mimicry is what do they say? I don't know. As usual, I think of something and then it totally runs away from me. But what do they say? Mimicry is the highest form of flattery or whatever. I don't think that's not really what I'm getting here. I just think you could be having some ideas, and it's kind of like the new car thing. They say if you buy a new car, once you buy a new car, you see it all over the place, right? You see everybody has the car that you just bought. It's kind of like the same thing. I feel like you're kind of noticing maybe patterns, or maybe you're thinking about starting a business, and then maybe all of a sudden you see it everywhere. You see everybody doing it. I actually feel this is confirmation for you. I don't think it's oh, everybody's doing it. I think it's saying, yes, do this, because it's going to be successful. So I don't know. That's what I would say there, plain and simple. With the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles, you have what did I just say? Innovation. You have this innovation card right here. I'm telling you, Four of Pentacles is being stuck doing the same thing. He's holding on too tightly to the past, but he could just be holding on to anything. And this, by the way, is Jupiter in Aquarius. So, plain and simple, if you want expansion, I would be innovating, trying new things. I actually think that mixing two things together is better, because you kind of get the safety of something that has already been done before, but also you get the benefits of innovating. It's if I were to do I don't know, if I were to like take tarot and mix it with predictions about sports games or something like that on TV, you can tell I watch sports, right? Because I just said the word sports games. But what I would say is that, like, if I were to mix the two things together as a channel, it might be successful because it's like something nobody has ever done before, but it's also something that is very successful on YouTube, tarot, right? So, don't be afraid to take two things and kind of like mix one, like an old idea with a new idea, is kind of like what I'm getting here. And that's exactly what I would do. With the Three of Swords and the Knight of Wands, you have this escape card. See, I would be careful of this energy as well. Sometimes I think we just want to run away from things, right? Where we just can't take something any longer. What I feel is if you've gone through a heartbreak with that Three of Swords, that it would be best for you to like sit with it and process it. It's funny that I said on that King of Cups, I wouldn't just rush right towards a person here. It's kind of also funny because I feel there is a person that is this King of Cups that could be very good for you, Taurus, but maybe you just need to tell them like, hey, I just need to take my time or whatever. I feel like this person would be patient as well. But I also feel that escape card is saying if you look really deeply into like why something hurt, I feel maybe you could heal it faster and then you could just move on from it. It's kind of one of those. With the Justice card and the Empress, you have this practicality card. Yeah, also interesting. A lot of people have had this card this week, and it kind of makes sense to me. I do feel like we have to be very practical and down to earth this week. I feel like, kind of just the simple answer is probably the right answer for you. If you're coming up with solutions to things and you're thinking to yourself, how can I make this more complicated? I would say no. Think, what is the simple answer to everything that you're doing? What is the simple solution? But you might not even need solutions to things. You might be just thinking, how can I make this better? I would, follow the simple solution with that practicality card. With the Two of Swords and the Ten of Swords, you have this concentration card. You have the Nine of Pentacles as well. Nine of Pentacles, believe it or not, is a card of concentration in the tarot. She normally has a falcon on her hand, and she has a glove on her hand as well on the Nine of Pentacles, the traditional Nine of Pentacles. And it kind of represents the fact that she's training her focus. She's learning how to focus on the right things or the things that she needs in life. But it is a card of, basically represents concentration. So I feel like you need to concentrate on things this week, obviously. With the Six of Swords and the Hermit, you have this revenge card here. I would say that you're probably moving on from this. I also, I'm getting hawk medicine popping into my head. I just said falcon, but I'm kind of getting hawk medicine here. You see how he's got the head in his hand, this guy right here? The whole thing with hawk medicine is that a hawk is about watching your words. Hawk medicine kind of represents the fact that you could rip someone's head off with your words. Maybe someone did you dirty or something, and it says you could totally destroy that person. But the trick with hawk medicine is it says, do you need to? Or can you live in the comfort of knowing that a person who did something dirty to you, right? Maybe someone cheated on you or did you dirty here, and that's what you're trying to heal from. Can you live in the comfort of the fact that, someone who does bad things to people like that, or who cheats or who steals, they're empty inside. It's there's no need to rip their head off. Their life is having their head ripped off, right? Someone who does bad things to people, that's bad enough, right? I think that's what people don't realize. It's someone who does bad things, who cheats, who lies, who steals, who does you dirty, whatever. It's people who do that are not good people, and they probably live bad lives, right? So it's can you live in the comfort of that is what I'm getting here. And I don't think you're looking at this in a negative way. You're just saying, go with God or whatever, right? Just saying, they need to heal. With the Nine of Swords and the King of Cups here, you have this drama card. I feel like this person has no drama is really what this is saying. Maybe you've experienced drama in the past. And I also feel like maybe if you have a person who brings drama into your life, that you shouldn't bring it towards this King of Cups person. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you're interested in. This could be any gender. I just get this feeling that there could be a person coming into your life who's really good. And it's saying, if you bring drama to this person, I feel like this person does not tolerate any drama. So it would be best to not bring any into their life. Because I feel like they're just I feel like I'm getting the words smooth sailing or something on this person if you're looking for love. And this person just wants smooth. I feel like they want, and they also create smooth sailing in their life. They create situations where it's just nice, comfortable, and that's great, right? So that's what I would be creating with this person if I were you. All in all, I would say I feel like the best idea for you in this reading is to mix two things together. Something brand new with kind of something that is established that has been working. I hope that makes sense. But we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards now, Taurus. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. So feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions. 1, 2, 3. For question number 1, hell yes, Ace of Pentacles, definitely a good idea. So yes. For question number 2, I would say yes, there's a King of Wands that I was asking for in this reading. So I would definitely be bold and assertive and really go for something as well, is what I would say here. The other thing, I'm kind of getting something random here as well, Taurus. If you're like going back to school, or if you're taking a course and learning something about like business or something like that, I kind of feel that there is this, maybe a part of you that's like saying, oh, I'm going to take this and I'm going to add something new to it. And with that concentration card, what I would do if I were you, especially in business, is I would do what you're learning, like do it as you're learning, and kind of stick with what works. And then once you get it going, then start adding your own kind of artistic flair to it, right? So I wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel too much until you get something working for some of you. And finally, there you go, the Emperor, exactly what I was asking for as well. So definitely taking control. I feel there's like a lot of success and abundance coming in for you here as well. So this is one heck of a reading for sure, Taurus. A lot going on, but I like it. So make sure to heal. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising as well for a full picture of what's going on for you this week. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.